know how motivational speakers will oftentimes say, do it afraid, do it afraid. Don't wait till all your ducks are lined up in a row. Don't wait till all the parameters are right. Do it afraid. And oftentimes, there are people who just go ahead. They just jump in, they just jump in, and they do it afraid. And it's either they fail or they are midway successful or outright successful. Well, kudos to such people. But if you're out there and even after having been hyped up to do it afraid, you still can't muster enough courage. Instead, you're just all up in your head, and all you can think about is, what if I fail? What if I fail? If that's you, then this talk here is meant for you. So just pull up a chair and listen to what I have to say, and perhaps you think differently or it doesn't fly with you, but just give this short talk a chance. As always, my name is Ogunene Scott Nanaba, and I'm committed to keeping it real as I encourage women to inspire change in and around them through personal growth and become a woman called you. So, like I was saying, if you are that woman who, in spite of having been hyped, in spite of having been encouraged, so many people try to pull you out of your comfort zone and they tell you, go ahead, and all you can think about is whether you fail. I do not want you to beat up yourself. I want you to know that you are in good company. So the question is this: why that fear of failing? Because think about it, when you are all in your head about what if I fail, just stop for a moment and try to imagine a paradigm shift. Imagine yourself saying, what if I succeed? Fear is very, very natural. It's part of our natural instincts. The fear of failure, the fear to be perceived as not being good enough, fear that comes out of maybe thinking, oh, maybe I'm an imposter, I'm not well equipped for this thing. But the truth is this: nobody who has ever confronted the fear of failure has ever truly lost out. Because guess what? Remember that Edison fellow who, I think he discovered electricity or so? I think it was the light bulb. Well, you can check it, just confirm, don't take my word for it. I'm just using him as an illustration here. It was said that he failed 99 times, and on the 100th attempt he was successful. But guess what he said? He said, look, I didn't fail. I rather learned 99 ways of not doing it before I got the 100th way, which was the right way. So the thing is this: truly nothing ventured, nothing gained. We cannot talk of failure if somebody did not set out to achieve something. So you see, one thing the fear of failure does when you say, what if I fail? It stops you from even venturing out. It stops you from testing the waters. It keeps you stagnated. I dare say that's what it does, because you are so scared, and at the same time you're in a kind of bondage. Because if you don't try it, how would you know it? If you don't venture, how would you gain? And the question is this: when you ask yourself, what if I fail? Stop for a moment and imagine, what are the reasons why I think this way? Will I fail because I'm not good enough? Will I fail because I don't have the prerequisite skill sets for what I intend to do? Will I fail because that field, the playing ground, is already oversaturated? Will I fail because I do not have the right financing to embark on this? Will I fail because I believe I will not have enough clients, or I would not have enough customers? The will I fail reasons are inexhaustible. So the thing about this is this, and it's quite simple. You need to just apply the bricks. You need to, like I always say on this platform, do a SWOT analysis. So many of us just decide we want to do something and we just jump into it without, exhausting the pros, the cons of whatever it is we want to do. See, my sister, there's absolutely nothing wrong in being afraid to fail at something. What is wrong, however, and that's the truth, is if you allow that fear to consume you. It consumes not just your waking moments, it also consumes your sleeping moments. It consumes you in the way of nightmares. And if this obsession, if we do not deal with it, if you do not deal with it, if I do not deal with it, it has a way of not just destabilizing us, but also putting paid to whatever our dreams are, especially in that direction. And one thing I always advocate for is there is always a better you. There is a better version of you. But if you insist to continue to cower, the worst kind of fear of failure is when you have Betty Downers around you. You have naysayers. You have wet blankets who would always have one thing or the other to say about what you're about to do. And most times, I'm not saying we should, surround ourselves with flatterers. No. But the thing is, if you can just surround yourself with people who are objective, people who are ready to not only buy in, but also encourage you. The truth is this: failure can be very personal. You know how they say success has a lot of friends and family, but failure is an orphan. And little wonder why it is so easy for you to fear failing at what you do. Because you see, if and when you want to embark on something, when you are beginning, to just be hopeful that thing will happen, that's when fear begins to take hold of you. Maybe you're somebody who is a content creator, not necessarily a comedic content creator, maybe somebody who has views to share and stuff like that. And you've already set up your ring light, set up your station, and to just start, you begin to experience self-doubt. That is the fear. You begin to have self-deprecating thoughts. What if nobody cares to watch it? And you know what it means in these days where it's all about numbers. So you don't have the numbers and then you believe you have failed. You forget that there's just that one person who might listen to it and the person's life changes. We're so obsessed with numbers that we forget that even the word of God says heaven celebrates even when one soul is one. So the thing about this is we just need to be kind to ourselves in order to defeat failure. We just need to believe, that yes, it is okay to be scared, because I tell you, there is no one person, it doesn't matter how confident such a person is, it doesn't matter how successful, it doesn't matter how, well versed, it doesn't matter how popular the person is, you can be sure that at some point in such a person's life, they had to confront and answer the same question: what if I fail? The thing is, because you see their success, you automatically think there was no fear. No. There most likely was fear, but guess what? They overcame it. So the thing is this: if you quit trying, if you quit embarking on doing that thing because you fear to fail, I tell you, it is not failure that will hurt you ultimately, but having failed to do what you were destined to do. It will be so painful because over time, you will see that in every other thing that concerns you, you will lose the drive to try. You will lose the drive to try because you see failure creeps in, and not just failure. Because you see, my dear sister, it's not so much failure that you are afraid of. No. It is the consequences of failure. oh, if I do this podcast and nobody listens and everything, what a shame. If I put myself out and, promote that cause, promote that thing, and nobody shows up, it will be shameful. Oh, people will laugh at me. So you see, when you think about it, it's not the very act of failing that is the issue. For so many of us, it's the consequences. Can I live with the consequences of failing? What if I fail? What if I fail? What if I fail? It's still in the realms of probability. It's better you try than if you fail. You will learn what to do not to fail again. You're afraid of failing. And who knows, on the other side of that fear is the fact that you will excel. You will be a success. You will be a reference point that even if you fail, even if you find yourself a failure, your failure will not define you. Because guess what? When at the end of the day, you're telling your story, perhaps it will not be as extreme as Edison, who had to try 99 times before he got it the 100th time. But it will be a story to tell. Because in reflecting on your failures, you would have learned how to move forward. You'd have taken time to see what went wrong and accepting that whatever happened did not break you, did not kill you, but only served to make you stronger. So today I encourage you, even when they say do it afraid, it doesn't mean you should jump into it, but think about the things you need to do that will give you the much needed wind beneath your wings to move on. God bless you.